Today, for the first time in humanity's history, people are able to communicate freely with their loved ones now living in the afterlife. One of the most successful methods is performed by state-licensed psychotherapists. There are two methods psychotherapist researchers have developed that are up to 98% successful in helping people have afterlife communications with their loved ones while they sit in the psychotherapist's office. And the resulting communications reduce their grief from a very strong score of 10 on a 10-point scale to 0 to 3 in a single session. This is the second in a series of videos with actual accounts of people who have had successful afterlife communications with their loved ones while they sit with a psychotherapist. Hello, I'm Dr. R. Craig Hogan, President of the Afterlife Research and Education Institute and Seek Reality Online. I'm the author of 8 books with the evidence you will come to the end of this life, but you will never die. Hundreds of psychotherapists are now helping their clients have afterlife communications with the people for whom they're grieving. One method is named Repair and Reattachment Grief Therapy, developed by Washington State licensed psychotherapist Rochelle Wright. In this therapy, the client sits before the psychotherapist, and the psychotherapist uses a procedure called eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, or EMDR, to put the client into a state of mind in which the afterlife communications take place. The client sits quietly as the loved one in spirit comes to them, speaks to them, hugs and kisses them at times, and even takes them on tours of their life in the afterlife. The psychotherapist does nothing more than listen to the client describing what has happened. Those in the afterlife take over and communicate freely. The client's grief is always reduced dramatically by the experience. I co-authored a book with Rochelle. In our book, we have a number of cases describing what clients experienced while in therapy sessions. This is an example. Christine has had regular repair and reattachment grief therapy sessions with her husband Joe in spirit. During these connections, she learns about her relationship to Joe, eternal life, and afterlife connections. In a recent connection, Joe explained to Christine what is important in afterlife connections. He then gave Christine and Rochelle a surprising validation of her connection with him.
Rochelle began the usual induction into the guided afterlife connection. Christine had earphones on, listening to meditation music that alternates in volume between ears for audio bilateral stimulation. Rochelle led Christine through a set of eye movements, and Christine closed her eyes, focusing on Joe. When she opened them, she said, "Joe was holding his hand out for me to come with him. He said he's taking me to a different place." In an instant, we were in a place that felt mossy under my bare feet. It was a field of daisies that Joe calls forget-me-nots. He nestled one into my hair over my ear. In the far distance, I could see my grandmother Oma. I was a little surprised. I hadn't thought of her and never asked to connect with her in these sessions. She disappeared. Joe asked me if I wanted to see my grandmother. I said, "Joe, it's been 3 years since you left, and I want this visit to be about you." He said, "Don't you think I know that? Listen to my words. I had to go 3 years ago. I couldn't take the pain anymore, but I didn't want to leave." He hugged me. "Baby, it's complicated," he said. He was holding my hands. He kissed my nose, and we began dancing again. After another set of eye movements, Christine closed her eyes. When she opened them, she said, "Joe said to me that awareness is the key." I asked him what all of the signs mean, like hearing Rocket Man so often with the words, "He missed the earth so much, he missed his wife" in the song. He said, "I'm showing you that I'm nearby." Then he said he wanted to explain the constitution of evolution. He said, "It isn't evolution, it's eternity." I wasn't really sure what he meant. Then he held up the crystal that I got after his passing, and instantly I saw a landscape that went on forever, like eternity. "It's not evolution," he said again. "It's eternity. The crystal is a transporter. He gave the crystal to me and said, "Hold it in your hands and think." She was cupping her hand and raising it while sitting with her eyes closed, as though holding the crystal. She continued describing what Joe was telling her. He said to me, "With this crystal you can do many things, but you don't need to hold it physically. It's a healing stone." I asked if that meant I could heal someone. He put his hands on mine and said, "No, it's a healing stone for us." He said, "Hold the crystal in your right hand and place your left hand over your heart. You can feel the energy." I did it, and I could feel the warmth. Then he said, "That's all I can explain now." I asked where I should keep the crystal. He placed his hands on my temples and the top of my head. "The crystal means we will heal together and march on." Then he showed me a sunset and picked up sand and let it slip through his fingers. He said, "The sands of time running through our fingers will reveal to you what you're looking for." We were sitting on the beach with our hands intertwined. He said, "Enjoy calm and inner peace." Then he stood up like we were finished. Rochelle said to Christine, "Ask him a question for me. Why do some people who come for repair and reattachment grief therapy have their sadness reduced but don't have connections?" Rochelle led Christine through a set of eye movements, and Christine closed her eyes. When she opened them, she said, "He told me, it is about acceptance and limitlessness. They are not accepting this. When a client calls you to set up a session, ask them, 'Are you open to acceptance and limitlessness?'" Then he gave me a message for you. He said, "Rochelle, keep steady, like a rocky." Christine looked at Rochelle with a puzzled look. I didn't understand what that meant. Rochelle was shocked. "Well, I know what it means, and it's pretty amazing. You don't know it, Christine, but when I was young, my nickname was Rocky." Rochelle did another set of eye movements, and Christine closed her eyes. When she opened them, she said, "Joe was laughing." He said to me, "Don't be so surprised." With that, the session ended. Christine said to Rochelle, "I feel light, like that was a healing." The next day, Christine told Rochelle that she had been with her mother, and her mother said, "Christine, I see a real difference in you today. It's been 3 years since Joe's passing, but you're really upbeat." Christine replied, smiling, "Yes, I feel light."
These communications that are 98% successful are further proof your loved ones are alive and well in the afterlife. You will have wonderful reunions with them when you arrive there. In the meantime, you can have afterlife communications with your loved ones now. Repair and reattachment grief therapy is one method you can experience. A link to the website with trained psychotherapists is in the descriptions below.